What's up, guys, and welcome back for another episode of Men's Glory Podcast, where we keep it real biblical. And today we are just a little casual.
Yes.
But hey, still look good.
It is what it is.
Face is still tea. I just want to do a shout out to our special guest today, my mom's new reading glasses.
Yay!
Because your girl
They're
been
not my reading
blind.
glasses. They are my glasses.
Oh, well, she is blind. She was very excited when we went to pick those glasses up.
Yes, I was.
And she was like, I can see so much better. These are not as medicated. I said, let me see. Almost took me out because they are. Probably not as medicated as the other ones, but they are still overly medicated.
I think the other one was too thick for me, so hey.
It's like some trifocals. Now she down to bifocals.
Okay.
But today we are discussing chapter 13. We are making our way through the book. And the name of this chapter is Baby, I Bring the Table. However, we have gotten into part 5 of the book.
Okay.
The book was broken down into 5 parts. So we are 6 parts. We are in part 5 of the book. And the part 5 is called Identity and Authority. And so when you open up to this section, it says, you cannot sustain healthy relationships if you don't know who you are or whose you are.
That's true.
Identity determines access, boundaries, and tolerance. And authority flows from alignment. This section examines how self-worth, spiritual authority, and personal responsibility shape the way we love, lead, and choose partners. When identity is unclear, compromise feels necessary. When authority is understood, discernment becomes natural. This is about standing firmly in who God has called you to be, without shrinking, apologizing, or over-explaining.
Okay.
So, the reason why you just have myself and my mother today is because Rita yet again dropped the ball.
Oh well.
But
It is what it is, people.
and she asked me about a particular person joining, and I was like, no. And I thought about it. There's no need for this person or any person to join this chapter because my whole book builds upon itself if you pay attention to it. But this chapter specifically is about me. So we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty. Let's talk about how people see me. I'm gonna go, and you'll go. We're gonna go tit for tat.
Okay.
Things that people say about Jasmine Sade. Stuck up,
She thinks she more than everybody.
conceited,
She make me sick.
bougie,
I ain't got nothing else to say.
rich. She thinks she know everything.
Okay.
Think you'll know it all, but I guess she wasn't gonna say that because they say the same thing about her too. You know
Who
it
is
all,
that?
right? Us.
You.
My daddy. My dad
Okay.
said that both of us think we know everything, when in fact he is
And
the one.
so do he.
He is the one. Right. Bougie, conceited, think I'm better than people, know everything, always doing something, don't know how to sit down. The list can go on. But all of them come back to the best word I can give is this level of arrogancy, right? And which is why I said this chapter, this episode, there's no need for a guest because we're speaking on Jasmine Sade today.
Okay, let's speak on it, girl.
I know what arrogancy is, and that I am not. My father can definitely tell you what arrogancy is, and that he was. But Jasmine S. Styles is not arrogant. And I've said time and time again, there's a difference between arrogance and conceited and confident. Those are 3 completely different things. Arrogant, no one can tell you anything. And I am a lifelong learner. I actively listen to people because I can learn from your good as well as I can learn from your bad. My whole objective is to avoid mistakes, to get to somewhere by making the least amount of mistakes as possible. I'd say do the most amount of good with the least amount of harm. Arrogance is not one for me. Confident, oh, you absolutely can say, because I'm going to walk into a room like I own it. Because that's what my daddy and my mother made me to be. And there's not one thing that I do that I won't be good at. Understand that. Daggone if I won't be the best. According to God's will.
Right.
Which is why my favorite verse are Romans 8:28-31. I was called to this purpose, to do said things. Work together for the good of those that love the Lord. Which is that? So chapter 13 says, baby, I bring the table. And the quote starts with, I don't need a man to build my life. I desire a man of God to build legacy with. And I've had a lot of people become offended or feel that way because I say I don't need a man. but you wouldn't understand because you're ready to go on the defense. I don't need a man. I desire a man of God. I am who I am already. I know who I am. I know what I offer. I know what I do. I know what my parents made me to be. To stand on my own. To hold my own. To handle my bills. To take care of myself. Right?
Right.
Now, a man of God, and to be a woman of God first and foremost.
Come on.
Now, I don't want a man, period. I don't want one, don't need one, don't desire one. I do, however, desire a man of God because those are two different things. A man of God is a servant. A man of God knows how to submit to Christ and in return will submit to his wife. As the wife should submit to him. A man of God knows his place. Right? That's what I desire. For you to be offended because I say I don't want certain things, that's your problem. That's a you problem, not a me problem. That's a you problem, not a Jazz problem. That's something you need to figure out. Because what James and Rita did do very well was raise me to be headstrong. They probably did that a little too well. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Raise me to be very dominant.
According to what God will said, you raise them up in the way that they should go. So long as you're walking in the Word as He commands us, everything will be all right at His time. Not yours, not mine, not James, not no one else's.
So let's dive into Jazz brings to the table.
Okay.
What were the things that you instilled in me, poured into me, planted in me that made me who I am? What was stuff you focused on? Okay, I'm raising this future young woman. What do she need to know? What does she need to be?
First of all, the children had to come to church with us. We all read together. We did those things. So we first had to love God over all. Upon loving God, you had to go to school and get an education. With that, you had to have confidence, and now their father instilled this thing in them about sports. My husband said he didn't have anyone to teach him, a father or no one to teach him. So therefore, he taught them. And he also instilled in them that there's nothing wrong with being by yourself. And what, go ahead.
Wait a second. I just want to give a huge shout out to my daddy. Because my daddy, and I'm only saying this because the shout out apparently goes to both, of course goes to both of my parents, but to my dad specifically because he quite literally became everything that he did not have
He did.
for me and my siblings.
Yes.
He quite literally saw everything that was wrong with his life, his childhood, and he became the complete opposite, which takes a lot of discipline, dedication, desire, and drive. To grow up in a domesticated home and choose the opposite. Right. To grow up around alcoholism and choose the opposite. Fornicate, hormone abuse, all of these things and choose the opposite. To grow up with parents who don't really too much care about church, care about the club, and choose the opposite and raise your kids and be there for your kids. So shout out to my daddy.
Yeah. Most importantly, what I appreciate, when he decided he was ready to start his family, he gave up the world.
Dropped everything.
He decided, okay, it's time to focus on me. So
at one time, he eased into it.
He let that go. So that's a great thing. And upon that, teaching our kids, this is where husband should be. The man should be at home with his family. The man should be the provider of his family. And he will often say to the children in the house, Jasmine and her brother and other siblings, and my nephew at the time, where do you see me at? I'm here. I get off work and I come home. And actually, they used to tell him he was in pick. Well, like I heard an old man saying, well, I'm picked by the right hand. Because what is out there, men
more important than what you got at home.
And women, if you are married and have children, it's your job to raise them up the correct way. So therefore, we taught them to be strong-willed, work hard, great effort, love God most of all, stand alone. Even with the sports, he made sure that they were the best that they could be. Whatever they did, we filmed from Taekwondo on up. Walk around with the camera and film, and he would go home and critique it.
We were professional athletes, so we had to watch film.
And so, but that is what they were told to do, even with my sons, Choose someone who's going to love you. But first of all, you have to be a good man, a good husband to someone. Don't just get married because all your friends get married. Get your education. These things was instilled in our children. Like my husband always said, that's why they got their own cars. You can't depend on no one. He said he was going to raise them hard and teach them because if you don't, the world will eat you up. So he was the world to them. So in that we say built for tough, as we gonna say styles tough under God, because you have to learn. You have to learn to do what's right. If it wasn't given to you, that's just like an abuser or an alcoholic. You didn't like it, so hey, cancel it out. The curse has to be broken, and we broke those chains, you know. So now, you may say, my child thinks she's more than everybody and all that. She has to work to take care of herself. I'm going to ask you a question out there. How many of y'all going to take care of her? How many of y'all will even send her a $20 check?
Huh? Not even $20. How many of you would give me $5?
Come on. Let's be honest.
Huh?
If she was hungry, would you even offer her anything to eat? But yet we have fed.
No.
Just asking a question. So therefore, they were taught to take care of themselves, to owe no man nothing, to depend on themselves, to look after one another. That's what my children were taught. You know. So hey, you got a problem with it? Oh well.
Rita made a very important statement where she said, you want to be a good man or a good woman. That's a good man, Samantha. I'm sorry. You want to be a good man or a good woman to somebody. You cannot be a good man or a good woman to someone else until you are a good man or a good woman for yourself. Bishop said it in church this Sunday, past Sunday. The last 2 Sundays he even said, you want a good man, you want a good husband, you want a good wife, you want a good job, you want all these good things. But you have to be good. Huh? How can I love you if I don't love me?
Right.
How can I expect of you the things that I am not expecting or giving to myself? How, and I've said this on I made a TikTok video about this. How can I desire a certain lifestyle from someone else, for someone to provide for me, and I am not provided for myself? I'm not there. I'm not doing the one or the two. Me and my mom's friend, I'm going to bring him up because I don't think he'll care of me, but I ain't going to say his name. I was sitting there doing his paperwork, and he said, I don't understand what's wrong with females nowadays. He said, you can't even say, tell them they look nice, or ask them for a number without them ask you for some money, or ask you, well, you going to fit this bill, you going to foot this bill. And I said, that's crazy work, because it's true, but it's not just females, it's also dudes too. You have dudes, and I talked about that in the book. You got a whole guy here talking about what you going to do for me, you going to take me out. I'm sorry. I thought the man's supposed to take care of, instead of us having pretty women and masculine men, we have masculine women and pretty dudes. The dudes want to be taken care of.
But now the scripture clearly says if a man doesn't work, he shouldn't eat. So come on now,
the man is the provider.
It's your job. Hey, their punishment was to work by the sweat of their brow. Our punishment were that they will
labor.
We will have hard labor, and the man will rule over us. So now, come on now, how you want me to take care of you, and it's your job to take care of you? How you gonna be a man and let the woman take care of you, man?
See, the difference between me and the rest of these other people, I run a strict program. And you can ask anybody, I run a very strict program because I know who I am and whose I am, which is the whole point of identity and authority. Knowing who you are and whose you are. How can I tell you I love you and I don't love me? Huh? The words say, love your brother as yourself, not more your neighbor, not more than. Huh? How can I say I love God but I don't love my fellow man? How can you say you love God and you don't love you? Because God gave you your life.
Come on now.
And no matter what situation or circumstance you came in, you are responsible for breaking said chokeholds. You want to break those cycles, you have to do that. And the thing about me is, because of the way that I speak, because of the way that I carry myself, because of the way I fix my eyebrows or tilt my head, or walk in the room with my chin in the air, which is something I very much get from my father.
And do.
We have to take pictures over. I be like, take a picture and get my head in the air. Every time, because it's not an arrogance thing.
Well,
it's something natural of me.
And we learned too that one of these things we was at, when you're taking pictures or your head down, because I got a habit of cocking my head to the side, or your head just straight, or your head down. So things you do all the time, but when people and then tell you something else I learned. People like to take up, long up?
Portrait?
Yeah. But hold the camera, take it, or your head down, So you just learn things, but some things just naturally built in you.
Well, I am very particular in that when I take my pictures, if I can feel, sometimes I feel my chin up. And I'm like, okay, let's take my picture so I can put it down. Because I know people call me arrogant. And for me, I'm not an arrogant person. I would quite literally won't give you the shirt off my back, but I would definitely give you a brand new shirt. You're not getting mine. But I can definitely buy you one. That one I will do.
If you have the money.
If I got the money. Now, if it's something expensive, the devil is a lie. I can buy you a t-shirt though. But the thing that we talked about this seasons back, I won't give you the shirt off my back, but I'll get you one. Because for me, if I give you the shirt off my back, that's me loving you more than me. Now I'm shirtless. We ain't doing that. I'll get you a shirt. The part about me, I understand that I am intimidated to both men and women. However, that's a you problem, not a me problem. Right. Because I know who I am. I know to leave my house with clothes on and to be presentable at all times. You would never catch me outside in a bundle of house shoes running anybody's gas station. I know that when I'm comfortable with my family and we just kick in a cock-on, okay, Jay's just going to talk how she talks. But I know when it's time for me to present, when it's time for me to speak, when I'm in front of kids or organization, whatever the case is, I speak with the education that I have. I speak with the way that I was raised, because I know that I walk with my head up in the air and my shoulders back, and I stride and I speak without hesitation, because my father would make me stand in the kitchen up against that wall just for me to tell them what went on what went on in school for the day. If I said start all the way over. When I become overly excited, I speed talk. People say stop. Start all the way over from the beginning. Do not use filler words. He didn't know what filler words was. I couldn't say There's a term for it now. I learned that in college. Filler words. Do not use filler words. Do not speed talk. Calm down. We need to be able to understand you. Start all the way over. I don't have stage fright for that very reason.
And I would like to say, so once again, James Style. Okay, so I applaud him because my husband drove truck. Well, the first 5 years of her life he did. But by the time LJ came along, he started driving trucks. And I would say when he wasn't there. But
he was a little bit older than me.
What?
LJ was older than me. I was in 3rd grade when we started driving trucks.
James started driving trucks.
And I was in 3rd grade.
Okay. But LJ was a baby.
Yeah, but I was like 8 or 9. That's what I'm saying. So LJ was like 2.
So what did I say?
You said when he was a little baby. LJ was like 2. He was still a baby, but no, he was like a little taller.
I remember LJ being on my hip. You was in Taekwondo. And
if he on your hip,
hip baby. He was 8 or 9 months.
No.
Okay, when James started, I remember him coming home. Because I heard him on the phone. No. I heard him on the phone telling someone, I came home because it's my son's birthday. And I had forgot it was your own birthday, so we did a birthday party for my son and choir rehearsal. Remember?
No. I remember.
Okay.
I got in my feelings. Because he did truck driving school first.
Yes.
And then he started doing long hauls. I remember doing long hauls because that's when I got my first C. And I was in my feelings. And I remember talking to my teacher, Miss Jones, talking to her about it. Because I was mad because I was like, my dad was
how old?
8 or 9, I don't know.
8 or 9. And you are how many years old than LJ?
Almost 6. Exactly. So he was 2.
Okay, a baby.
Anyway.
But anywho, as that going on, as I was saying, so those things, because hey, yes, I worked and I cooked and I took care of my kids.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah, what I was finna say, he made sure that they did this. They did, stand up. Even with my son, had the erase. LJ's left hand made an erase and write it over. I'm like, So I can say, he did those things that he didn't have in his life to do.
My dad was very meticulous.
Yeah, and that's why whatever it was, and then because we talked fast, and I had a cousin, we used to be on the phone. She like, Reed, I said, who was that? And she like, y'all could be in there talking about me, and I would not understand y'all. Yes, I understand my family. We do. When we communicate.
I don't know. Sometimes Elsa get to go. I'm like, how long is it? Wait a minute. What?
But I can understand her. And I remember P used to say, "Yeah, you understand that boy? Yes, he's mine." But with that being said, so he slowed. He made sure that she spoke well. So he made sure that the writing, the conversation, it just had to be perfect to what he called
perfectionist.
And that's what he instilled. And then, you know, like I say, LJ was lefty, so maybe I used to be up all night with him in homework. And one of his teachers said he's a professional. I was. When you got old enough, then, hey, well, the storyboard, boom, you know. But anyway, so like she said, we are the way she is because what we instilled. I mean, not we are.
We are the way she is.
She is the way she is.
Came out of the group, left me hanging.
What we instilled in her, you know, and in our children, you know, because I said earlier, as parents, as good parents, God-fearing parents, you want your children to be better than you. You know, whatever it is. Keep going up, not bagging up. And therefore, we can get the blessings rather than the curses. You know, it's a choice, blessing with cursing. So, you know, hey, you just to be, and this is my opinion, when people is mad or upset or jealous of something someone is doing, hey, that's God blessing that person. You ain't got nothing to do with that.
You feel inadequate.
You know,
and that's what that is, inadequacy. Mm-hmm. And that is your business. However, check you, boo. Mm-hmm. Oh, we said it in church.
Look within your heart. I saw some things today, you know, the young lady, and I heard a man say it too. Hey, it's one you, and it take a group of them to get together and hate on you. Count yourself as blessed, because that one person couldn't do it by themselves. They got the problem. Why it take a group of people to get together and try to knock somebody and hurt somebody?
Been there, done that.
You know,
multiple times.
Stand on your own. Jesus stood alone. You know, let's do something positive with our lives. Let's help people. Let's be positive. Let's love people. Let's be like God wants. Let's be like God wants us to be. Neighborly, loving, compassion. Let's go.
So, with knowing who I am and whose I belong to, my parents did the same thing for both of us with telling us who we should become as individual persons. Because I'm talking about me and LJ. As individual persons, they also showed us and described to us who we should be when we desire to become a partner, right? And what we should look for in a partner. So my mom showed me, taught me, explained to me how to be a wife and what type of husband to look for. I.e., she did the same thing with my brother. This is the type of man that you should be, and I'm the type of wife that you should be looking for. Vice versa. My dad did the same thing with my brother and I. My dad, and y'all have seen me make the joke a minty of times, my dad raised me to be a player. My dad was in the streets. And he thought he was running, well, he actually was running a game on birds. Because he ran up against his match against Rita, and she, whoop,
that's what he said,
and knocked him down. The thing is, because of who my mother was and who she is today, and because of who my dad was, what he did and who he is, that made me to this person. I'm a lover girl because of my mother. But you can't get the lover girl up out of me because of my dad. Because my dad raised me to be a thug. He raised me to play game. He raised me to show you, hey, let me show you how smooth. But this is the difference between me and my daddy. Because he raised me to be a perfectionist, I could never get caught up. Him, on the other hand, he was dealing with birds. I mean, I run across a couple birds too, but I'm honest. The point about the difference between, my dad thought he was well, actually, my dad was an exceptional liar. Because like he said, you had to believe the lie in order to do it. Jazz don't have to lie. Because Jazz also terrified of going to hell. My dad didn't care about that back then.
She get that honesty from her mother.
So I let her know from the jump, hey, you know, I'm either not interested or I am. Or I may be texting you, but you're not the only guy. And Rita she's like, why do you tell them? I need to let them know. Either get it together or get left. Literally. Either play your role or be replaced by something. Really be like, why you tell him what he said so he know what he got to compare with? And it's never competition, just to let you know, hey, you trying to get. First of all, we're gonna weed out the weeds, okay? What's the scripture about some of them criminal tears and some of them?
We tell you let them grow together.
Listen, they're growing together. I'm letting them know, hey, and your actions. By my truth's gonna let you know who's gonna make it and who's not going to make it. Okay. The thing about me is I'm honest from the jump. If I'm interested, I'm gonna tell you I'm interested. If I'm not interested, I'm gonna tell you I'm not interested in you. And I tell people from the jump, hey, I don't see this going anywhere. You're a nice looking gal, you have nice conversation, but I don't see this going anywhere. And it's like, well, no, you know, this the people try to wear me down. Like, don't catch feelings. How many dudes I told you I said, don't catch feelings? Then what you know? They caught feelings. Now I'm the bad guy. I'm not, because I told you what it was from the jump. I can't help what it is. And you can sit there and look at me and say, you just think everybody wants you, and don't. And don't. However, I know who I am. I know what I carry. I know what I act like. I know what I do. And I know it's a blessing to be involved with me and my family.
People cannot want you but want you.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, they can want
the ideal of you,
mm-hmm. or to get with you to get what they think you have.
Mm-hmm. Want to be a part of the lifestyle.
Yeah. Or the happiness and love. And the most important thing
the family
that I can give a person is God's love. Because we are truly a loving family. Now, do we get into it? Yeah. But the quickest we fall out, the quickest we fall back in.
Because can't nobody else come over here.
You know,
because we could have been just slapped by. You come from outside, the whole team's flipping up on you.
Mm-hmm.
Get it together.
But even with that, you know, it could be 10 of us. It could be me, my brother, his children, my children, my mama. You know, we can all be in here, and we can be Jazz and I into it. My brother, girl, what you think you talking to? Get up on us. That's just the way we roll. We love one another, and we ain't gonna let you do nothing. You ain't got no. You know, we gonna check.
Every man for themselves.
We check us.
Every man
you know,
for themselves.
Even with that being said, that if a person say, "What you bring to the table?" Me, I bring what God has prepared before you, brother, sister. Get it?
See, really answer that question. I quite literally on page 95.
Mm-hmm.
It says, and let me say this plainly: if you ever feel the need to ask, "What do I bring to the table?"
You're not for me.
You already don't belong
Mm-hmm.
in mine.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be clear on that.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask, "How do I, Jasmine, add value to your life?" that conversation is already over. Because what you asking, how I'm adding value? If you can't already see, and that's the thing, you approach me, so you already see.
Mm-hmm.
You saw something that you wanted. That the level of arrogance to ask somebody, "What you bringing to my life?" This is two ways. It's either arrogancy or knowing who you are. And for somebody who truly knows who they are, who are truly walking in their purpose and following Christ, that whole question of what does it add to my life? That's not a question that you ask out loud. That's something you ask yourself internally. If I'm going to be with this person, because this is where you weigh your pros and cons. Because again, know who you are.
Right. Because I got nothing but love for you, baby.
One thing with it, knowing who I am, my parents taught me how to love myself, how to be alone. When you spend time alone with you, baby, you learn some things.
You do.
You see some things. You understand some things. When you pay attention, I tell people all the time, have some accountability with yourself, self-evaluation and accountability. Because I don't care what guys I have talked to, how many of them I have dated, the relationships I was in. I looked at what I did. What did I do? What did I allow? How did I let this get this far? That let me know, hey, do I want this in my relationship or what?
Do you?
Who knows? Could have been a stripper. No, I'm just playing. But with that too, like I said, identity and authority. Who are you for real? Do you know? I think we misconstrue the idea of what marriage is. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason you think, my God today. Mm-hmm. Y'all, we in here fighting for our lives. Boy, your reacting time is slow. You supposed to.
No, because what I was going to do is move my phone and close the book. You doing
I was going to take this book and wham! My heart racing.
Come on.
I ain't going to survive in here. But that almost took me out. You know what type of thing that is?
It doesn't matter. Let's keep going. Don't aggravate. Moving on with life.
It didn't aggravate me. It didn't aggravate me. Pause. I just want to point out, Rita ain't took them glasses off yet. She is feeling herself.
Girl, are you hate? Let me take
She
your
was
glasses
walking
off.
around church. Put it back on because you know.
Because I can't
I
see.
wanted to tell you too. You
What?
ain't messed up on a reading. Yes, since you had them glasses on.
I told you I needed some. Oh, they got me dirty.
See,
I told you I needed some glasses. I couldn't see them glasses.
Baby, you felt yourself so good Sunday. You walked through church. Did I tell you about just stop looking? Just look at it. Just everybody just
Hater.
No, I'm just saying. I'm proud
All
of you, girl.
this love we
I'm
talking
proud
about.
of you, girl. Cause baby, them
Baby, I
glasses
can
did they
see.
big.
Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. I can see.
Oh, I found it. I told you it's a certain angle when your eyes magnify. I called it. I'm sounding like a fruit fly. This is after. But when it comes to this idea of marriage, when you thinking, okay, I'm gonna be this person when I'm married, or I'm gonna do this, you need to already be who you are before the marriage. And I talked about it in the book. God is molding me to become a specific type of person, like He is molding my husband to become a specific type of person. We are doing the work on ourselves, and when we come together, we're still going to be doing the work on, because you still have to grow. But in order, this is what people say, we grew apart because somebody stopped doing the work.
What?
The thing is, while I'm working on me and he's working on him, we still got to be in the middle working on us together. Work on me, Jesus.
Come on now.
That's my song. Okay, listen. How you going? I'm gonna be this when I'm married. What are you now? Maybe that's why you're not married.
Preparing.
Talk
You
to
should
me.
be preparing yourself.
Hmm?
You know, we have to the self-love
Everything is preparation.
get you in order to receive what God has for you. Now that's when I give me a husband, when I give me a wife. No. We're prepared. You know,
what you doing now?
You're working on yourself now. If you are in the Word, learning Jesus, that's what the Word does for you. It makes us, it molds us, you know, creating me a clean heart, renewing me a righteous spirit. So this is your time. So therefore, when you and He comes together,
And make we.
you worked on it. So that's okay. Like when people say, okay, people who met wasn't thinking about God, just living their life, and they make it over the hump. Some people serve God, some people don't, because God gonna bless whoever He want to bless. That's just His business. Ain't nothing we can do about that. But if you're working on you, it's much better in the Lord, whatever it is, So let's move forward with Him. Not that, hey, my child need any man to validate her. She only needs Christ, to be validated, because the most important thing that we could be is a saint of the Most High.
A servant.
Be one of His.
To be kept by Jesus.
Come on now.
Hallelujah.
And that's for man or woman, because, I'm going to say man and woman, because we know that God is the head of Jesus. Jesus has the man. I am. Man is the head of the woman. And that woman is man's daughter.
Podcast. Thought you just want to say all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord. When you said for we know.
Yeah. But it's about doing right, believing what's right, and knowing your worth. Every man and woman should know their own worth.
And while we on that,
come on.
Stop I'm talking to my ladies specifically. This one is for you. Okay. Look at me. Hear me. If you take it offensively, boo-hoo.
Move a little further.
You can't whoop
Ask the Lord to help you with that.
Hear this and hear me loudly. Hear me clearly. Stop laying up with that man, that piece of a man you think you have and think he gonna marry you. Stop producing children for individuals who cannot take care of you nor those children. For who ain't even taking care of themselves. Stop giving the restaurant to the homeless person. And I know that sounds so bad, but what I'm saying is, if I've given you, my God, to that, if I've given you everything, why? What need do you have to come back and offer me anything? Why would I ask you for something?
So the people used to say, I used to be in church, you know what I'm saying? Why would the man buy the cow and you can get the milk for free?
Huh?
And I used to think, hey, that's a good deal, because you getting free milk. But people.
But you didn't understand it.
I did not. I'm not good with slang and stuff.
Oh my. That's not slang, it's a metaphor.
Well, that metaphor I never caught. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? But as I learned better, yes. If a man can have your body and everything on all these jewels without putting a name on it or a label on it, hey, why would he name you as? Why would he wife you? And some of you all may say, well, that ain't nothing but a piece of paper. Let me tell you something
about
a piece of paper. Let me tell you about that piece of paper. If you die and you have 5 children by that man over there, not his name, and he works somewhere, you get nothing. But if you that joker's wife, you gets it. You know?
And that's another thing.
What?
Having babies and you not putting the babies in their daddy's name.
Yeah.
That's just dumb.
Well, a lot of people do put the babies in their name, but the point is, what do you have? On the obituary,
I was just going to say,
friend,
special friend.
and you done laid up and have 5 children by him. Y'all done shacked up.
But you know who getting the benefits? The mama.
The mama is reaping the benefits, and it's her choice. You know,
his mama, not you.
Right.
His mother,
not you,
because he done died. And they left you with your children. You a special friend in the obituary. So you said obituary.
You
and the mama is reaping the beneficiary.
So let's not do that to
y'all fighting at the funeral.
Selves. You know,
stop lowering your standards.
Yeah. Hey, if you want, even if you don't want to be married, you still don't have to shack up and become somebody's special friend. A special friend to me, my friend girl, my guy friend, that's my special friend. But I have a lover. I have a husband. Get it? They don't even put you down as a lover. They say a special friend.
For those of you who don't desire marriage, that's all right. This ain't for you.
It is.
This is not for you.
It is.
Because if you don't desire marriage, well, you continue to keep laying up, and you don't desire heaven either.
Hold up. You don't desire marriage, but you desire to have all these babies by these men. So what are you doing?
Not following Christ.
Like you say, desiring hell. Because people, we got one or the other. We either got everlasting life or we got everlasting damnation.
For my dudes, because y'all thought y'all was getting off easy. Be more, and I heard a guy say this on the TikTok, be more selective with your semen. He said the other word, but I'm going to say semen.
Okay.
Be more selective. Just stop giving it out. Y'all just out here making females baby mamas. Creating broken homes.
Then you holler you don't want it.
Distributing. Just out here, community. That's what you are.
Releasing your milk.
Just give.
It sounds a little bit better than semen to me, but go ahead.
Whatever. You just out here distributing it out. And but you want to run through all these females, and then you got a particular type that you want to take home to mama. Was the old saying, baby, what?
Well, like my mama said to me, it was a Jezebel in the Bible. So while y'all talk about the women, what's the name for the man besides whoremonger, which covers all of us?
Oh, they didn't start saying another me got Jezebel spirits too.
Okay, yeah.
What was his name?
Who?
They sent that man out there.
The king?
Yeah, for his wife.
Had put him on the front row and have him killed.
Yeah. What's his name? Peter.
Was that Peter?
Was that Peter? I don't think that was Peter.
It was a king. Peter was
King
not
South. It was.
Maybe. I don't know. They know. Look at it.
Anyway, listen.
Go ahead.
Long story short, learn who you are by yourself. Learn who you are in your relationship with Christ. Figure out what it is. Figure out who you are and figure out what it is that you want to become. Not for someone else, for your livelihood, for your soul's sake. Figure it out and do the work to get there. And if somebody is speaking negatively on you, just don't let it be true. Because the word said they're going to speak on you.
They talked about the good Lord. They still talking about it.
It's okay for them to speak on you. Just don't let that bad thing that they are saying be called once named among you.
Uh-oh.
Huh? Call me arrogant. That's just the shortcomings in you. Now, if you are arrogant for real, check you, boo. Check you. I'm not arrogant. I got a sleek mouth. Yes, I did. But I'm not arrogant. Rita still tip-tapping to him. What's your final words to the people?
Keep talking.
I'm done.
Are you?
I just said to sum it up.
Okay. Well.
That one finger pecking is what's gonna take her up out of here. I told her. She's trying to go find this scripture. Because I said I wanted to know who it was. That ain't right.
No, that ain't it.
King David.
King David, that's what it
What
was.
did I say? I said
You
Peter.
said Peter was Solomon.
Then I said Solomon.
But
It was
anyway,
David.
what I would say, what was the topic, what I bring to the table? It's the chapter. Let's go back together. Baby, I bring the table. So most importantly to me, what I say a table should be, and is be, should be, and is knowing who you are. And knowing that you belongs to God. And with you belonging to God, He will supply all of our needs and our wants. So bring Jesus who lives within you to the table. And that's the table. Because the material things cannot do anything for, that's a temporary happen. They can't even make it happen sometimes. You get all those things, and then those. I remember people used to say, I ain't jealous of nobody. Bill, it ain't nothing but a bill. And I'm like, why would you call somebody else's thing a bill? You know, because you didn't want nobody to call yours a bill, because if they can afford to pay for this, their bill. But I get it. You know, I got what they were saying. But to me, that was belittling the person's blessing. That's the way I saw it. So, you know, we all have our own thoughts. But with that being said, I am the table. Because I belong to Him. And if we all think like that, those of us who truly belong to Him, baby, we'll be
She didn't
moving.
say it with the Last Supper. I'm going to leave it with these two verses. That's what she said. I'm going to tell you, I belong to Him.
Go ahead, girl.
Verse number 1, John 15:5. I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me.
Start over.
I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. And my most favorite one from this chapter, 1 Corinthians 15:10. But by the grace of God, I am what I am. And His grace which is bestowed upon me was not in vain. But I labored more abundantly than they all. Yet not I, but the grace of God which was with me. I am who I am because of God. I've come through what I've come through the power of God. I will be all that I aspire to be according to His purpose because of the man that I serve, the Father that I serve, the one who has put me here and molded me and showed me for these things, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. Knowing who you are and whose you are can only benefit you for the good. Amen.
Amen. Because according to the Christian scripture, we are nothing less than just a bubble on the wall, waiting to burst.
And on that note, while she become the ball on the bubble, or whatever else she doing, we're going to see y'all next week for another episode of Man's Glory Podcast, where we keep it real biblical.
Have a great week.